If you worked on the railways, would you have voted to go on strike over pay and safety this week?
Well, I don't work on the railways. I work in Parliament, and my job is to make sure that we actually resolve this, which is what politicians are meant to be doing. I don't want strikes to have to go ahead. None of us want strikes to have to go ahead. And I live in the north of England, Sophie. I know what it means when the railways grind to a halt, because we've had a decade of underfunding and bad management and broken promises. But that's why the government has got to get round the table with the train station staff, the ticket office staff, the cleaners, who just a couple of years ago Grant Shapps was calling true heroes, and sort this out, because they're the only ones who can. They took the negotiating mandate away from train operating companies in the pandemic. They haven't given it back. And it's no use saying to people, get round the table, if you've taken away the table. The biggest problem that this country faces right now is not militant workers, it's a militant government.
But I want to know, though, if you think that the strikes are reasonable, and I'm asking you if you would have voted to go on strike this week over pay and safety. Your colleague, Wes Streeting, was able to answer that. Why can't you?
Because I think it's unreasonable to put working people, whether they're trying to use the railways to go to work or they're trying to keep the railways running, especially those who came out day after day to do it in a pandemic, against one another, when the reality is everybody is losing. The problem isn't threatened strike action on the railways. The problem is a government that is on strike and not doing its job. In Wales, there are no strikes. Why? Because you have a Labour government. In England, we have strikes because we've got a Conservative government that since the beginning of March has not lifted a finger to resolve this. They haven't met or engaged in the talks since the 8th of March. But that's simply not good enough. And I don't know how Grant Shapps has the brass neck to tour the TV studios when the buses aren't working, the airports are in chaos, the railways are about to grind to a halt.
I'm going to talk to him.
And tell people it's somebody else's fault.